Hello, fellow travelers. It's Uncle Phil from Celebration Concert Tours here in Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. Cannot tell you how excited we are to partner with you on this great trip, music and ministry in Eastern Europe. Some of my best buddies in ministry are coming on this trip. We have Dale and Aaron Wilbur. We have the great Dr. Ron Upkin and Miska. We have Kenneth and Christy Martin and Lauren and Anita Minnick, Dr. Randy Hahn and Karen, and just some great friends coming on this trip. And many of you have traveled with us on numerous trips, and so glad you're coming on this Eastern Europe trip. It really is one of the best trips we offer, and you're going to love going to Eastern Europe. Great fellowship, great sightseeing, great ministry opportunities, and we're going to have a blast. Are you ready? It's going to be awesome. Now, not that I'm counting or anything, but we have 39 days, 10 hours, and 5 minutes till you land in this great place called Munich, Germany. All right? So, not that I'm counting or anything, but it's going to be great. So be praying for the folks that we come in contact with, that will be a blessing to everyone we see on this trip. Be praying that God does something fresh in your own life. My personal prayer for you is that God gives you all at least 3 or 4 aha moments. You know what an aha moment is? If you do, say aha. All right? Just one of those moments you remember. It's a mile marker, a memory, a moment you remember forever. When you're sitting in the rest home in 20 years, you're still talking about what God did in your life on this Eastern Europe trip. So I'm going to walk you through the brochure here and the orientation packet. Our staff has done a great job putting all this together, and we're going to walk you through it, and hold your questions to the end, all right, because hopefully we'll answer your questions. And if you do have any questions, make sure you call us or email us, and we'll be glad to help you any way we can. Look at page 2, all right? We have some wonderful paragraphs of welcome from all the leaders on the trip, just great, wonderful friends, and you're going to love working with each of these great ministers of music, pastors, and their wives, all right? And page 3, next to your spouses, family, and friends, this is the next most important thing in your life over the next month as you prepare and get your mind set to have the time of a lifetime on this great trip, all right? This has the table of contents and tells you what is in the packet, and you can refer to this from time to time. Let's take a look at the daily itinerary, all right? Going to be an awesome trip. We all fly to Munich, Germany on Tuesday, June 18th. We will be there with bells on to greet you and to love you and to hug on you when you get off the plane, all right? Now you can see page 18 for your flight information. Page 18 and following has the flight information. But before you go there, you're going to be welcomed by our local guides as well as our own staff. We're taking you right to Dachau concentration camp, all right? Just because geographically that's where we need to go at that point, but it's a very sobering tour and yet a very meaningful one for all of us, all right? You'll have free time to explore, and the good news is we do take you out of the concentration camp. We don't leave you there, all right? So we'll then depart from Munich, have lunch and free time to explore, and then the coaches depart for one of my favorite cities in the world, Salzburg. All right, we're going to Salzburg, and we're going to have a wonderful welcome dinner there at a great restaurant, and after you check into the hotel, you will be ready to sleep. Now, we don't want you to sleep much that day, all right? You can take a little cat nap on the bus, but if you sleep too much, your schedule will be totally upside down, and you'll want to sleep during the day and party all night, all right? So we don't want to get that messed up. So try to sleep as much as you can on the plane, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Coaches 1 and 2 are going to the Wyndham Grand Hotel, and coach 3 to the Hotel Obertuschof, all right? It's a great hotel, even though it's hard to pronounce, all right? And you check in there, and then the next morning, breakfast, a wonderful buffet breakfast from 6:30 to 8:30. You don't have to eat that whole time, but you just need to be ready by 8:30. We are going on the Sound of Music tour. Men, the Sound of Music tour, aren't you excited? It really is great. Even guys love this tour, and we're going to explore Salzburg like you never have imagined. We have the best guides and the best hotels. As you know, a great crate trip depends on great guides, great hotels. We have both. All right. So we're going to take a great tour that day and lunch together, and then we're going to depart from Muncie. Muncie is where the chapel is from the Sound of Music film, and we're going to go back to Salzburg and visit Mirabel Garden and do an outdoor concert that afternoon, right in Mirabel Garden, a place that you will really recognize from the Sound of Music movie. Now, guys, the rest of your life as you're watching the Sound of Music film, you're going to point out, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. All right, so pretty exciting. All right, and then we'll have dinner that night, and then return to the hotel about 9:15. All right, so the next morning after a buffet breakfast, we're doing a walking tour of Salzburg with our local guides. Again, you'll visit Mirabel Palace, the Festival House, the Salzburg Cathedral, Mozart's birthplace, and then meet back together. And Coach 1 and 2 will go, and then Coach 3, and then we'll meet back together. All right, lunch is on your own, and we walk to Salzburg Cathedral. We are doing a concert in Salzburg Cathedral, one of the great cathedrals of the world. And then your evening is free, and we go back to the hotel that night. Great, great day in Salzburg. You're going to love it. It's magical, especially this time of year in the summer. It's going to be just off the charts in every single way. Salzburg Cathedral is where Mozart wrote a lot of his music and played it for the first time and premiered it. And you will just sense the grandeur of that great, great building as you're singing there. All right, the next morning we'll get up, have breakfast, depart for Vienna, and we'll have lunch in Vienna, and then we will meet our local guides in front of St. Stephen's Cathedral and do a walking tour of Vienna, and have some free time to explore. That's going to be a wonderful time. Have a wonderful Viennese dinner together, and then travel to the hotel for check-in. All right. On Sunday, we're going to get up and depart for Schönbrunn Palace. Schönbrunn Palace, Google it. Take a look at the pictures ahead of time. And even though the pictures are great, it will overwhelm you when you see it firsthand. We'll do an audio guided tour of Schönbrunn Palace, give you some free time to explore, then have lunch on your own, and then travel to Belvedere. We're going to do an outdoor concert in front of Belvedere Palace. A great, great setting. And then your afternoon and evening is free. Dinner on your own, and we go back to the hotel. All right. Vienna on Monday. All right. Vienna on Monday. Buffet breakfast and depart for the city center. We're going to give you time to sightsee and explore. And we're going to go to St. Stephen's Cathedral and do our concert in St. Stephen's Cathedral, a great prestigious cathedral, and an opportunity to minister to folks. And what I love about these trips, as you know, you've been on them, so many times the unscripted times are the great times where you have an opportunity to minister to someone or just share the love of Jesus with them. And those are the great testimonies we love to hear, because they're not on the agenda. They're not planned, but God opens up doors for you to minister to folks, and it's really, really special. All right. So let's take a look. St. Stephen's that day, and then a meal that night. Okay. And then we're going on the next day. We're leaving for Prague. All right. Prague is a great, great city. We'll have lunch en route, and then we'll meet our local guides there, take a walking tour of the old town, the astronomical clock. It's really, really cool. And some iconic places that you've seen for years in history books, and now you get to visit them in person. All right, the coaches arrive, and then we're going to check into the hotel and travel to the city center, dinner on your own, and then night. All right, on Wednesday, we're still in Prague, a buffet breakfast, and of course, we're going to walk to Prague Castle, and then take the bridge into Old Town, and we're going to eventually get to St. Salvatore Church. Well, we're going to do a rehearsal and ministry concert there, and then we'll be able to have a dinner cruise that night. And it's one of my favorite things to do, a dinner cruise there, overlooking all of Prague. It is just magical. The lights are coming on at night. It is absolutely a wonderful way to end the trip with a big, huge finale. All right. And then we'll do the dinner cruise. Next morning, we wake up and back to reality. We will take the flights back to the great US of A. But this is such a great trip. Very few people get to go to Eastern Europe. And your life will never be the same just because of all the great sights, the great sounds, the great fellowship, the great times of ministry. Going to be awesome. All right, take a look at page 6. We're going to briefly touch on all of these. A lot of these are self-explanatory. A one checked bag only. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Be alert. You know, where we're taking you is always safe, but always be alert because there's pickpockets and people who might want some of your money or some of your jewelry, that kind of thing. So just be alert. That's all we ask. Drink plenty of water. Make sure you keep hydrated. Keep your name badge on at all times. Make sure you have that name badge on and wear it religiously, except when you're sleeping, showering, or swimming. How about that? All right. And it gets you in a lot of great places. Keep your passport safe. In fact, if you put your passport in the Velcro on your name badge, you'll be in really, really good shape. All right. Incidentals, some of you might want to purchase flowers for your wife or something like that. Make sure you give your credit card at the front desk, and they will be glad to register that for you. And then any extra charges you have, if I were you, I'd check out of the hotel the night before of any incidental charges. All right. Because if you wait till the next morning we leave, normally there's a long line and you don't want to stand in that line. Cell phone plan. Most cell phone companies now have a day plan. I know AT&T has a $10 a day plan, and you use your phone just like you do here in the States. You can text unlimited, you can email unlimited. So check out with your carrier what that plan is, and it's definitely worth $10 a day if you're going to be doing a lot of texting and emailing and calling. All right. So that's page 6. Page 7, travel day notes. Make sure you check with your airline the day before and the day of your flight to make sure nothing has changed. All right. In fact, you might want to check with them even right now to make sure nothing's changed. Sometimes they'll change things and not tell you, or maybe send you an obscure email that somehow you miss. But we ask that if you booked through Klaus, that you call him with any questions, email him with any questions. If you booked your own flights, make sure you check, make sure everything's still on schedule. We ask that you get to the airport 3 hours ahead of time just to be safe. All right. As you know, Murphy's Law creeps in. If you're running late, that's when the long lines appear. So get there 3 hours early to rest and relax and enjoy the company of the friends that you're traveling with. All right. Luggage, one checked piece, and it should not be over 50 pounds. All right. So the last thing you want to do is something I've done many times, and that is having to open my suitcase when I have 51 pounds and take out my heavy underwear. All right. You don't want to have to do that in front of everybody. So make sure it's less than 50 pounds. You can get a scale at Target or Walmart, very simple scale, about $5, I believe, to weigh your suitcase. Restrictions for liquids. Just don't bring any liquids unless you have to on your carry-on. And it must be 3 ounces or less and fit comfortably in 1 quart-size clear plastic zip top bag. You have to put that on the belt as you go through security. All right. Get a good night's rest the night before. I know you'll be really excited, but try to get a good night's rest. See if you can sleep on the plane. And my best friends next to my family and Sherry and my good friends is my travel pillow and my noise canceling earphones. All right. Headphones. Those are my favorite friends next to the obvious friends I have in my life. All right. They really do help you relax, help you not to experience much of the noise that's on a plane, and help you sleep. All right. Drink lots of water, include reading materials, that kind of thing. Now, number 4, tips for packing. Just circle the word simplify. Plan your packing. If you wait till the last minute, you're going to take way too much stuff. Only take stuff you need. And like it says there, bring 1 or 2 pairs of comfortable shoes that you can wear with multiple outfits, and just be smart in your packing and plan. If you plan, you'll be in great shape. Number 5, in your carry-on bag. All of these things need to be in your carry-on bag. That third thing down, very important, pack at least 1 entire set of clothing in case somehow your bag goes somewhere different than you do. All right. We've had that happen very few times, but in each case, they brought extra clothes in their carry-on, and then they were able to change clothes into those instead of wear the same thing for 3 days. All right. Make sure you bring your travel umbrella. We never say the word R-A-I-N in our company, but in case there is some R-A-I-N, bring your U-M-B-R-E-L-L-A, right? But God will give us great favor with the weather. The reason that one line is in bold is it's very important. Inform your credit or debit card companies ahead of time that you're planning on traveling, where you're going, and when you're going, all right? Make sure you tell them the different countries we're going to and the dates we're going to each country. If you don't do that, I guarantee your credit card will be denied wherever you go, all right? So make sure you call your credit and debit card companies and give them the dates you'll be in each different country. Number 6, getting through security. The easy thing is just prepare to take all your clothes off, all right? If you do, then you'll be fine. But a lot of times you have to take your belts off, your coats, your jackets, your shoes. You have to empty all your pockets. You have to take your iPads out even now. So just be ready to do all that. And of course, your liquids, less than 3 ounces, you have to take those out in that plastic container. And just read through all those notes. Identification, make sure you have your passport with you at all times. Medications, I'd leave those in your packed luggage, your checked luggage, except for what you need on the way, all right? And it says pill and bottle must match. That's important. Leg swelling, there's a section on leg swelling. Shopping, don't stop when we're going somewhere. When we're going somewhere in a group, make sure you stay with the group, all right? We've only lost 2 people out of 10,000 folks. Come to think of it, we never did find them. They're somewhere in London somewhere. But anyway, the bottom line is this. You are your brother's keeper, all right? You are your roommate's keeper. Always know where your roommate is, especially if you're married to them, all right? And the other thing I want to just remind you, repeat after me, say it with me. If I'm on time, I'm late. One more time. If I'm on time, I'm late, all right? What that means is the buses will leave right on time, all right? And if everybody's on the bus, we'll actually leave early. But the bus always will leave on time. And when we stop to get goodies at a snack place or stop for lunch, make sure you're back on the bus when the guide tells you to be. And you'll have a lot more fun because you'll see more. Our goal is to make sure you see as much as you possibly can with the time allotted. And if we're waiting for one person, you multiply all that wasted time times one person. Everybody say boo. All right, so we're going to leave on time wherever we go. All right, food. The food in Europe is amazing, and we invite you to explore and experiment and enjoy the great food. Washcloths on page 9. Some hotels don't have washcloths for some reason, all right? So bring your own. The time there, okay, you're 6 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. Now, some of you on this trip are in Central Standard Time, some in Pacific Standard Time, all right? So make sure that you know exactly what time it is back home when you go to call back home, all right? Make sure your family knows what time it is where you are as well, or you're going to be really calling each other at strange hours. So it's 6 hours ahead of Eastern Time, 7 hours ahead of Central Standard Time. Electronics, you need the following on page 14, or number 14 there on page 9. You need those adapters. Make sure you have those adapters and make sure you have the exact right one, as you don't want to get over there and be stuck without adapters. I'd bring at least 2 of them, all right? Concert attire, men's solid pastel short sleeve polo type shirts with tan khaki pants, all right? And a black CCT polo shirt will be provided. In fact, you should have that by the time you have this packet. You should have your shirt, and it's being passed out even as we speak, probably, all right? Women's solid pastel short sleeve polo shirts with tan khaki pants or capris, and again, your black CCT polo shirt. So the 2 different shirts are your solid pastel short sleeve polo and then the CCT shirt, which you're getting tonight, all right? And no sleeveless shirts, tank tops or leggings, no logos or writing, modest jewelry, and shoulders and knees must be covered for all concerts and any time you enter a church, all right? Just want you to know about that. And Sherry always wants me to remind you about sunscreen, all right? Make sure you bring sunscreen. You don't want to be burned the first day and look like a tomato the rest of the trip, all right? So make sure you bring sunscreen, and if you do have any kind of motion sickness, make sure you bring something for that, what you normally take. Daily spending estimate, very simple. This is basically down the middle. This is pretty much normal spending, all right? Now you can see that the euro, 1 euro is 1.14 US dollars. That's in Vienna and Salzburg. Now in Prague, they go by the Czech koruna, all right? So you can see the exchange rate there. Every place takes credit cards. You're safe with credit cards. Just check with your credit card company to see if they charge an international fee. If they do, you might want to lean more towards cash. But bring the cash you think you'll need. Some of you buy a lot of things. Others don't buy many things. But this is pretty much the meals you are responsible for on this page, on page 10. We're going to collect tips at the end of the trip. And a normal tip for your guide and driver combined is only 80 to 90 euro. All right? That's not much money for all that great guiding that they're going to do and the great expertise they have. All right? But you add it all together and it becomes a lot of money. So make sure we bless your guides in a big, big way. The guide and driver share that tip. And you're going to have a great relationship with your guides and your drivers. They're with you the whole time. And as you know, it's just great to banter back and forth and get to know them. Page 11, currency information. That gives you information about the euros and the Czech koruna. On page 12, that's our good-looking staff. You're going to love working with our staff. Sherry and myself, Ben Butler, Preston Deacons, Katie Ann Locke, who's been your tour guide all along, tour manager. You're going to love these guys, and they are there to make sure you have the trip of a lifetime. We're there to serve you any way we can, all right? Sometimes in the lobby of the hotel, you get free cell phone service, free Wi-Fi, I should say, and we're going to get you free Wi-Fi as much as we can, all right? Page 13, this is self-explanatory. Inside your name badge is a condensed schedule and also an insurance card. And if you need to use this insurance, just show them that card, all right? Now, if you are on Medicare or Medicaid, many times they'll take that over the insurance we offer. But you have that card to use whenever you get hurt. Hopefully you won't, and you won't need to use it. But the hotel information is on that page as well, and more insurance benefits on the next few pages. And then when we get to the VAT tax on page 16, just read this, okay? Read this really close and just do what it says regarding the VAT tax. Hopefully we'll never have a VAT tax in the US of A, but read exactly what this says to do, and you'll be in great shape if you plan on spending much money or buying some really nice gifts. So if you are going to spend some money on gifts, make sure you read this and do what it says, and you'll save yourself a lot of money. All right, coach assignments. Those are the coach assignments on page 17, and hopefully you're with people you love and you like, and I believe you are, so take a look at that. Page 18 is the flight information. Some of you are getting there early, and we ask that all those getting there early meet us in the arrivals hall at the Munich airport by 7 a.m. All right? Really need to be there between 7 and 7:30. If you're there by 7:30, you're still fine. But we need to see your eyeballs to make sure you are there, so we'll have no trouble identifying you, getting you on the bus, getting you with the group. So between 7 and 7:30, make sure you are at the arrivals hall. All right? On page 19, that group is flying in that morning, and you'll meet outside baggage claim. Now make sure you go outside baggage claim. Don't wait for us in baggage claim, all right? You're not going to get hugged until you get through the exit in baggage claim. And we'll meet there at 9:15 and be ready to take off, all right? So look at your name and look at all the instructions by your name, and you'll be in good shape. We went with all the information you provided with us, so make sure you have that same info that you've accumulated, and make sure you check it against the information that's in this packet, because that's very important that you arrive when you say you're going to arrive, so we don't have to go looking for you. Page 25 is departures, and just do what it says there. Some of you booked outside the parameters and are providing your own transportation to the airport. Page 26, that group starts leaving the hotel at 6:45, and a bunch of you leave at 6:45, and then you get to page number 28. Some of you are leaving the hotel at 9:45, etc., etc., etc. All right, page 33 is the hotel rooming list. Make sure you like your roommate. If you don't tell me about it, all right? So make sure you take a look at that. Make sure the room type is correct and everything. So anyway, hopefully we answered your questions. If you have any other questions, be sure to call our office or email us. And can't tell you how excited we are. What a great, great, great group. Most of you have traveled with us before. Those of you who have not, you're going to just have the trip of a lifetime. And so excited to see all our great friends in ministry that are partnering yet again on another great trip to Eastern Europe. So God bless you guys. Be praying for the folks we'll come in contact with. I'll be praying for you that God does something fresh and new in your life. We have a group of people all across America praying for each of you in alphabetical order by last name, all right? And that's how I pray for you, in alphabetical order by last name, all right? So when I pray for Ron Upton, he's last but not least, all right? So God bless you guys. We'll see you in Eastern Europe, and we will be there to hug on you and love you, and it's going to be the trip of a lifetime. See you soon.